doing now? How's everybody?
I'm doing fine.
I'm good. How are
Okay,
you?
I'm blessed. And
Benita, you
Benita,
know Bill's father
yeah.
has passed this week.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in touch with you because I didn't know where you were at because I know it's a lot of things that go on at that time.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I appreciate.
but I'm sure right about now he's looking down on us, Bill.
Oh, absolutely,
Bill,
absolutely. Most certainly, I hate to say it this way, but in essence, the truth of the matter is that his passing was a blessing for us all.
yeah,
It has fortified and mobilized the family to come together. We're getting to see family members we haven't seen. He's not suffering, which is the most important thing. And
right.
if we cling to the faith that we say we have, he's now spending time with my mother, and other family members like his mother and father and all those who have passed before him. So, that's the main thing. Of course, no one wants to see anybody go, but it's a reality. We all have our appointed time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to think on the positive side, of course. He's also looking at Vanita and Bill and Michelle saying, I hope y'all can make it down there.
Yeah, well, we'll have a lot of helping hands by the time we get ready.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Maybe
someone will throw out a rope ladder for me because I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Yeah, that makes two of us. I'm glad everything is cool though. I'm glad it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, for those that may not be aware, I think everybody here is aware, but on March the 28th, we lost my father crossing over. He was 88 years and 8 days old, upon his ascension. And so this poem here actually is one I wrote dedicated to him and his memory. His name is Marion Peters, and most certain he leaves behind a legacy, of 22 grandchildren, 6 children, 22 grandchildren, and 11 greats. And I just want to, offer this piece in honor of him and, a snapshot of what he meant to us, our lives, and to myself.
And what do you call it?
Titled Long Walk Home. Okay. It took him 88 years and 8 days to complete his journey. Along the way, there have been many a pleasures and many a treasures I am sure his soul has encountered. Most certainly he was such to all who knew him. Behind he left 6 children, 22 grandchildren, and 11 greats to celebrate his life, his spirit, and I for one shall do so. Mom had went before him to prepare a place for his arrival, which she knew would come. We did not want to let go, and in his heyday neither would he have, but he was tired. Life had taken on new meaning where suffering could not live and had no place. This is not the first time we have stood witness to the crossing of the bridge. There have been many before him, and many shall follow. And one day we all shall pay the toll as well, some sooner, some later. But 88 years, 8 days? What a magnificent life. A bountiful blessing to have been able to share his journey, his passion, his dedication, his humility, his love, his guidance, and his reverence. I am thankful beyond words. So I say, thank you, Dad, for all your sacrifices and the time you have spent here with us sharing your light. Yes, I shall shed many a tear. I shall smile in reflection. I shall embrace the memories, and I shall miss you. But I shall never stop loving you, even in your absence. For truth be told, I am you, you are me, and I shall be the keeper of the spirit of your goodness. And I say, rest in peace, Marion Peters, my father. Born 20 March 1928, crossed over 28 March 2016.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Um,
Thank you.
you and I talked earlier this week, and one of the things you mentioned, was being able to have your dad 65 years, and what a blessing that is, and that even some of your children didn't have their mother very
Right.
long, and there's so many children that don't have that kind of. I was 19 when my dad passed, and in my late 40s when my mom passed. Um, so it's hard for me to even wrap my head around having a parent for 65 years. But of
Yeah.
course, I'm going to make a tape from this. Um, so I think if you'd like to, Bill, maybe take a couple of minutes and talk about what would you want the children yet born, the children that won't have a chance to know Marion Peters, what would you like them to know about him if they could?
Well, it's I can't selectively say I like them to know this, that, and this. I like to them. I pray that we, as the legacy of his seed, maintain that spirit of congruity, love, and family, and honor, integrity, and all those particular things that my mother and my father gave us, and are able to pass it on, duplicate that. You know, um, for me personally, because I write, it's significant for me to, pen these thoughts, emotions, and perspectives that others may have the opportunity to read. You can't make somebody accept or, take anything in, but I can at least provide it and make it available. Um, the old story, which we all have heard so many times, is to pay homage or give them their flowers while they're here. Um, so if the kids to come just learn to do that by honoring their own mothers and fathers and grandparents, or just the legacy of their ancestors, which is what we should be doing as well. I think that's the beginning of going down the right road.
And I
So it's not
know
really.
a part of what you were telling me was that your parents were pillars of the community,
Mhm.
and built the church there, and in fact I think you've invited the community to come to the funeral.
Mhm.
You want to talk about that for a minute?
Well, my father and my godfather actually built the church, which is still stands in service, where the funeral is going to be. My mother was the head of the missionary, committee. She was head of the youth department. She was very instrumental in that particular aspect of interfacing with the community. She was a surrogate mother for a large majority of our community, as she raised many children while their parents had worked, on that. But again, it goes back to the spirit of these human beings, and like I said, Logan, I am so blessed, that my soul, had the opportunity to walk side by side, live, and be a part of that particular legacy. Um, and if I could just be, a reflection of that, in my lifetime of serving, the humanity, serving others, serving the community, serving my family, then I can possibly at one time, hear them words, well done, son. But that's really about it. I don't think it's as much about their works as much as it is about the character that led them to create the works that they were able to accomplish.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, thank you. Uh, okay, Shareef, did you want to say anything here?
Well, I concur with what Bill is saying in terms of the importance of the family structure based on solid moral principles and making real commitments to each other, to support each other uh, sincerely, you know, uh, and making the effort, putting in the work to do that, not just paying lip service to it. That's what sorely has diminished and almost actually became a dinosaur in America, is the family structure. That itself is a slippery slope, and it can only get worse. If it's bad now, it's going to get worse. Because without that structure in a healthy state, a nation can't stand. That is the backbone of any kind of collective, whether it be local or global. It starts with the family, and they've totally destroyed family structure in America. And when I hear Bill talk about his pops, man,
Yeah.
May he have peace and his family as well.
Yeah.
And it resonates with me because I'm a family man, as well, and I have a large family. And and they need those kids, my grands, my children, even now who are grown in their. My oldest son is 51 years old, going on 52. And I have children well into their 40s and almost 50, and even they still need guidance from us old folks, from their parents. It doesn't go away. They need their fathers, they need their mothers, they need their grandfathers. That's an important thing. The Creator didn't make that. He didn't invent that structure for no reason at all. It has its place in the universe that's very, very crucial, very necessary. And they try to downplay it, and they try to gloss over it, and it's having a very negative impact on, certainly here at home and all over the world for that matter. Bill, my deepest feelings for your family, and wishing you peace and serenity in the midst of this test.
Right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Convey my love to your family, man, please.
Most certainly will.
Thank you. Take care now.
Thank you.
Speaking of family, Bill, so does this make you the old man in the family now?
Yeah, I am now the patriarch. It's funny you say that, because all the years when people would, greet me or address me Mr. Peters, I would jokingly say, "No, I'm not Mr. Peters yet. He lives in Puerto Rico." So now I am Mr. Peters.
Well, I hope your family treats you better than we do the patriarch in my family.
Let's not talk about that. We won't go there. That doesn't have anything to do with the subject matter here. But most certainly, I'm very, very grateful. And it may sound sick or odd, but I'm grateful that my father passed. Okay, because he was suffering first and foremost. So by whatever definition one wants to describe it, God, Allah, the Creator, circumstance, or whatever, he was relieved of that, and he went on to. He is now, as my faith tells me, it dictates, to be joined with his love of some 60 years, which was my mother. 60 plus years, which was my mother. But it also had a very, very strange effect, because during his illness, there was this kind of separation, like lines being drawn in the sand, this camp versus that camp, and this opinion versus that opinion, this intelligence versus that intelligence, this logic versus that logic. But in his passing, I'm very proud of my siblings and the family, because we have come together, and those that had, or, they may still possess, I really don't know, but those that had any particular type of ilks with each other, or ilfs with each other, myself included, we're demonstrating that we're letting it go, because the greater mission is that of the family, which is something my mother and my father strongly instilled in us. So I'm happy to be a part of this journey. I've learned a lot, but yet and still it is something that, a journey that could only have happened because we were the children of Marion and Pauline Peters.
Right. Right. Well, that's wonderful. Well, you certainly have my condolences.
Thank you
And
so much. I appreciate that.
if there's anything I can do, you can call me. I'm a good sounding board, I think.
Okay. You didn't say nothing about the checks.
Well, I didn't say I could do everything.
Okay.
You can
Well, you
ask
didn't
me
say
anything.
anything.
But you know, I'm
Yeah, I got
I'm
you.
I'm one of those people that actually means what she says.
Oh,
So
I know that. I don't question that whatsoever. Yeah.
so all right, well, have a good week. Have a joyous funeral. Is it going to be like a New Orleans kind of celebration, or what do you have
And
planned?
it's going to be very well. We're AME, so it's going to be traditional.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Carl's going to preside over the funeral. Carl Wade.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, he's part of the family. So
Okay.
he's going to preside over the funeral. Um, so and going forward, you know, uh, maybe after that, maybe we can dance, shake a leg. We definitely go to the repast and eat. So
I know
but
that's right.
yeah. Yeah, but sharing memories. We sat around last week and we shared memories of our father, and a lot of memories, were not never shared before. From the eyes of my brothers or my sisters and myself sharing with each other things that we didn't know about each other. For example, my father's always through his life went by Marion Peters. Okay, I'm the only one left that knew he had a middle name that he never used. You know, they
Oh,
were shocked. Well, see, I knew that, but it wasn't important until now that we're sharing.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to those particular times when we reflect, on how blessed we were to have had him in our life. And he's still in our lives. But so that's a beautiful thing.
Well, you can tell Carl Wade I said hello, and if you use my first name, he'll probably know who you're talking about.
Well, you're one and only.
Well, there was my mother. See, my mother was Loga Odom. She
Okay.
was,
Well, see, he knows the Odoms because your father was in Trenton area, right?
yeah, yeah,
And that's where he grew up.
yeah, yeah. We knew the ways well. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.